If you can't control your emotions, people will control you. Most people believe that feeling empty is simply a consequence of stress, loneliness, or a busy life. But psychology tells a different story. Emotional emptiness is rarely caused by a single event. It is often the result of subtle mental patterns, unconscious habits, and modern behaviors that slowly disconnect us from meaning, purpose, and genuine human connection. Without realizing it, millions of people spend years chasing productivity, validation, and constant stimulation while feeling less fulfilled than ever before. In today's video, you'll discover why modern life quietly creates this emotional void, how your brain adapts to endless distractions, why social comparison damages your emotional well-being, and which psychological mechanisms make so many people feel disconnected even when surrounded by others. More importantly, you'll learn practical psychological insights that can help you recognize these invisible patterns before they become your normal way of living. If you stay until the end, you'll understand the hidden psychological forces behind emotional emptiness, why so many intelligent people struggle with it without knowing the real cause, and what behavioral changes can gradually restore a genuine sense of purpose, connection, and emotional balance. Because the real problem isn't that modern life is moving too fast. It's that most people never realize what this way of living is quietly doing to their minds. And once you understand that process, you'll never look at your daily life the same way again. Have you ever reached the end of the day feeling completely empty? Even though nothing particularly bad happened, you got through your routine, answered messages, worked, scrolled your phone, maybe even laughed a few times. But when everything finally gets quiet, there's this strange feeling that something is missing. That feeling isn't weakness, laziness, or a lack of gratitude. It's often the result of your mind carrying an invisible emotional load that modern life has taught you to ignore. Every notification, every comparison, every unfinished thought, every conversation where you held back what you really felt. It all accumulates. Your brain doesn't simply erase these experiences. It stores them, processes them in the background, and slowly drains your emotional energy without asking for permission. The hardest part is that this happens so gradually that you start believing this emptiness is just who you are. You tell yourself you're just tired, that you need a vacation, a new goal, or something exciting to happen. But what if the real reason has nothing to do with being busy? What if the habits that seem completely normal are quietly reshaping the way your mind experiences satisfaction, connection, and purpose? Most people never stop long enough to notice this invisible process. And that's exactly where everything begins to change. What most people never realize is that the feeling of emptiness rarely comes from what is missing in their lives. It comes from what their minds have quietly stopped noticing. Your brain is designed to adapt to almost everything. The more stimulation it receives, the faster ordinary moments begin to feel insignificant. A quick look at your phone becomes an hour. One video becomes 20. One small achievement barely registers before your attention is already chasing the next thing. Without realizing it, your mind starts expecting constant novelty just to feel engaged. The result is subtle but powerful. Conversations feel shorter, relationships feel less exciting, weekends disappear without leaving meaningful memories, and silence starts feeling uncomfortable instead of peaceful. This invisible pattern doesn't happen because you're unmotivated. It happens because your brain is constantly trying to reduce uncertainty by searching for the next reward. The problem is that this search slowly disconnects you from the experiences that actually create lasting fulfillment. You may be surrounded by people at work, in school, or even at home, yet still feel emotionally distant because your attention is never fully present. Modern life rewards constant movement, but your mind quietly pays the price. And once this cycle becomes your normal, something even more surprising begins to happen. Your own emotions start feeling unfamiliar, as if you're watching your life instead of truly living it. And this is where the emotional emptiness starts affecting parts of your life you would never expect. It doesn't just change how you feel, it quietly changes how you behave around other people. You become less curious in conversations, less patient with the people you care about, and more likely to say, "I'm fine," even when you know you're not. Little by little, you stop sharing your thoughts because it feels easier than explaining them. Friends assume you're busy. Family thinks you're distant. Coworkers see you as quiet. No one notices that what's really happening is an invisible emotional shutdown. The strange part is that the more disconnected you feel, the harder it becomes to reconnect. Your brain begins treating emotional distance as the safer option, reinforcing the habit every time you avoid a difficult conversation or replace real connection with another distraction. Over time, this changes the signals you send without saying a single word. People naturally respond to your energy, your attention, and your presence. When those begin to fade, relationships often lose depth. Not because people stopped caring, but because emotional engagement quietly disappeared. That's why so many people feel invisible in rooms full of familiar faces. The real problem isn't a lack of people around you. It's that your mind has slowly learned to protect itself by pulling away before you even notice it's happening. Your mind isn't reacting only to what's happening today. More often than not, it's responding to emotional patterns that have been building for years. Every disappointment you never fully processed, every moment you felt ignored, every time you convinced yourself to just move on without understanding what you were feeling, your brain kept a record, not as a list of memories, but as emotional shortcuts that influence how you see the world. That's why two people can experience the exact same situation and walk away with completely different emotions. One sees an opportunity, the other expects rejection. One enjoys being alone, the other feels abandoned. The difference isn't always the present moment. It's the emotional history each brain brings into it. Modern life makes this even harder because there is almost no space to slow down and recognize these invisible patterns. We stay busy, distracted, and constantly stimulated, while old emotional responses quietly keep running in the background. Eventually, your mind starts confusing familiar feelings with true reality. If emptiness has become familiar, your brain may keep recreating the conditions that produce it, even when your life has objectively improved. And until you recognize that this cycle is driven more by emotional memory than by your current circumstances, you'll continue searching for answers in places that were never causing the problem in the first place. The turning point doesn't happen when your life suddenly becomes easier. It begins the moment you stop assuming that every emotion is telling you the truth. Feeling empty doesn't always mean your life lacks meaning. Feeling disconnected doesn't always mean people don't care about you. Many of these emotions are your mind repeating familiar patterns because they're predictable, not because they're accurate. When you begin noticing these automatic reactions instead of immediately believing them, something subtle starts to change. You create a small space between what you feel and how you respond. That space is where healthier habits begin to grow. You become more present in conversations, more aware of the moments that actually matter, and less dependent on constant stimulation to feel alive. This isn't about forcing yourself to think positive or pretending difficult emotions don't exist. It's about understanding that your brain is always trying to protect you, even when it uses outdated emotional maps that no longer fit your life. Real change rarely arrives as one dramatic breakthrough. More often, it appears through small moments of awareness repeated over time. The more you recognize the invisible patterns shaping your decisions, relationships, and emotional reactions, the less control they quietly have over your life. And once that awareness becomes part of your everyday thinking, the emptiness that once seemed permanent no longer defines the way you experience the world. What if the emptiness you've been trying to escape was never asking to be filled, but understood? Modern life teaches us to measure everything we can see: success, productivity, status, attention. Yet the parts of us that shape every decision, every relationship, and every emotion remain invisible. We keep searching for bigger moments, while overlooking the quiet patterns that slowly become our lives. Maybe that's why two people can stand in the same room, live through the same world, and experience completely different realities. Not because life treated them differently in that moment, but because their minds quietly gave that moment a different meaning. The strange thing about the human mind is that it rarely changes all at once. It changes through the stories it repeats, the emotions it recognizes, and the patterns it stops accepting without question. Perhaps the question was never, "Why do I feel empty?" Perhaps it has always been, "What has my mind been trying to show me that I've been too busy to notice?" Sometimes the answer isn't waiting somewhere ahead. Sometimes it's been quietly present all along. If this video made you see your own mind from a different perspective, subscribe and join us for more content about psychology, human behavior, emotions, and personal growth. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. It really helps more people discover this channel. I'd also love to hear from you. If you watched all the way to the end, leave a comment with the words, "I stayed until the end." And if one idea in this video stood out to you, share it in your comment as well. Now don't stop here. Click the video on your screen to continue exploring how your mind shapes your emotions and everyday decisions. Then check out the playlist for more videos designed to help you better understand yourself and the people around you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.